Good morning, everybody. Little sunrise this morning for you. This is Ronnie. Just coming to you a little video today. We're going to try to keep this kind of short and sweet, keep it on point. And we're going to talk about my biggest mistake I've made reselling, and I've made it twice. And no, I'm not handicapped. That's the spot next to me. Don't judge me for my mistakes. So, my biggest mistake I've made twice, and both times it's unfortunately been renting. If you watch my channel for a while, from 2014 to 2016, I rented a warehouse, about 1,100 square feet or so. Terrible space. I jumped at it because the price was kind of reasonable, and it was just not a great deal at the end of the day. Really poor judgment. There was multiple issues between heat, not air conditioned, so it was in the summertime. It was hot, and it was like a space that it was about 800 square feet of open, warehouse space, and then it had a heater, but we never used it. And then it had an office about 300 square feet, which was, it had a heater, but it was expensive, and it was either cold, or your feet get cold, or you're burning hot. It was kind of just terrible. And the big kicker was it didn't have a bathroom, which I don't know why. That just didn't seem like a big deal to me when I rented it originally. I remember my wife was away in United Kingdom with two of her best friends, and they were on a little girls trip, and we're there to see one friend, and they were like, whoa. I told Gretchen, she came back like 3 days early. It was kind of funny. But it was just not a good space for what we sold. It was reasonable and everything, but it was probably about I would say $15,000 per year extra expense added on to everything. And if you know me, I basically, our residence is a 2-bedroom condo, so there's not a lot of space. It's probably 900 square feet. It's not the greatest space for trying to run your business out of, but it works. But we do get a lot of family and friends that come during the course of the year, and it does make for very interesting stuff. But anyway, get back to the point. Was poor choice of space on my half, plus the income. I mean, the income part wasn't really that big deal. We had multiple, probably like $20,000 months between eBay and Amazon. So it was back when I was doing Amazon kind of heavy. And it was very good. We had you figure out your processing area and everything. Space worked well. It was just not the greatest space in that, for reasons. I made other videos about this. And then the second one was right after the pandemic. I thought it would be smart to run an office. Same size, 1,100 square feet, I think. And this office, I mean, we've had videos on and online. I thought it was going to be great. But, over time, rents kind of go up. You get into it cheap, but, once you're in a place, they want to keep going ahead and charging you extra and everything like that. All of a sudden, want to go up a few $100s every year for the lease, and and for whatever reason, going into renting the office, we were just started of 20. It was in the summer, late summer 2020. I rented it, and it took a whole month just to even get into the unit, just because I didn't have the motivation. We were trying to furnish our Airbnb at the time and take care of that and buy furniture and get air conditioners and appliances and get this Airbnb up into where we could, you know, at least break even on the on the apartment we had, so we didn't have to. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, or condo, whatever you want to call it. So we you know, we're working on that more. Even I rented it, and you know, it just sat vacant for like a month. and initially it started off real well, but one thing I started with, like when we started going through the pandemic, I started to feel this switch that I was getting burnt out from doing clothing. Like I just, everything changed with the pandemic, and our sourcing routes and how we did things kind of changed because the hours changed and everything. You know, stores that were open to 7 now we're closing at 5. You know, and where we are, we have to drive into Boston, and you got to deal with the big, huge traffic. You know, originally that wasn't a big deal, you know, because traffic was kind of light early in the pandemic. But as you know, as life starts to roll back together, you know, you started to do that. We had some really good months. First year, you know, we did really well. But after, like anything, it just tails off after a while. And then last year, what was it? 2021 was really good. It was really good. But I realized, you know, you know, these bills start to mount up pretty much heavily. And we were paying, probably with insurance and everything we had, utilities, everything, it came to probably $24,000 a year, we'll say, for the office. And that's a big number when you think about it. Like for us, we could use that $24,000 and put it in stocks, or put it into, I'm not going to say crypto, but put it into anything other than that. Put it into sports cards, put it into another property in the Dominican Republic possibly, or maybe buy some land. I mean, there could have been a lot of other things. It really wasn't the best investment in renting that office. And then just as this winter came, and I was in a funk, like, and I just kind of shut down in a way with sourcing. I shut down with listing. There was times where I'd go weeks without listing, and that doesn't really do your eBay any good when you do shit like that. When you become very inconsistent, eBay does not reward you. eBay, it's like you give eBay the middle finger, and eBay returns gives you the middle finger back. But like, they give you double. They're like, oh, you want to give me 1? I'm going to give you 2 and see how you like it. Give me that double fist. And it's like, seriously? Come on, eBay. What's good with you? So, you know, it's one of those things, like, you move forward and you learn from your mistakes. But I think I'm done with renting spaces. You know, and it didn't help that we changed what we bought and sold. We got into a lot more sports cards, trading cards, and stuff like that. And that stuff does not take a lot of space. I can literally have like, I mean, and a few boxes that look like shoe boxes have $50,000 on cards. Like, it was, you know, very, you know, stuff did not take up much space at all. Shipping that stuff is kind of pretty easy. So it was one of those things where it got kind of, you know, we changed a lot of different things. A lot of things changed. My wife decided that she was, you know, she goes through her phases where she's always not interested in really working for doing thrifting and doing all of that stuff. She thought she liked it in the beginning, but, you know, ever since she started working off and on for JetBlue, you know, 3 different times, she's kind of, you know, JetBlue kind of, you know, is her dream thing. So I got, you know, and when you're doing it by yourself, like, for me, it's not the same when I'm by myself. it's hard for me to really focus on it. It's hard for me to do it. And I got in my funk this year, and this year just fell apart. Like, I just could not keep it together this year whatsoever. So we had to leave. It just didn't make sense. And part of that's, maybe that's another story for another day. You know, but I don't know. It seems like everybody has some type of issue recently with anxiety or depression or shit. Not everybody, but it seems a lot more people over the last few years. Like, kind of crazy, a lot of the stuff that's happened. But, you know, adding these extra expenses on when you're paying $24,000 out for office space, and all of a sudden 1 year you're not really doing, you know, when you're used to doing $150,000 on eBay, that's fine, probably. You know, it's a tax write-off. You know, it writes off your taxes anyway. Less money you got to pay to Uncle Sam, but at the same time, it's like, okay, that money could be used elsewhere. I never really got to utilize that office the way I should have. I never had more than probably 600 listings at all, and currently I only have maybe like 250. You know, so yeah, I got a lot of work to cut out ahead of me and get some stuff done and do some things and get motivated. If I sound a little weird, I couldn't sleep last night, and you know, decided to go down to the beach. Probably I just wanted to, you know, reach in and just talk about some of the real stuff that happens in business. Like, this is something that happens, and for me, you know, maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I got too many other things too. Like, my mind wants to do other things than reselling currently. Like, it wants to do something different. So technically I'm working on some of those things, and hopefully you'll take you guys along and show you guys our journey. As always, you know, but I want to keep it real with everybody, you know. But renting these extra spaces, I mean, just the office alone over the last 2 years, it was close to $50,000. That's a lot of money if you think about it in that way. And when you're only doing, I know I did under 150 the 1 year. I don't know what it was. So it was, say, 270. It's a huge thing. That's like, what, 20%? So that's a big percentage. So just something to keep an eye on. You know, not, you know, I could have milked YouTube videos all I wanted to, and maybe that would have helped offset some of the money. I mean, not that YouTube, I don't even think I don't even think I'm monetized anymore because I didn't make videos just for a period of time. Like, you know, monetization was cut off. But there's a little ferry going to, I think it's going to Nantucket. But, you know, it's a beautiful morning out here today. It's nice fall weather in New England. So that's about it. So see you guys later. Have a good day. Adios.